Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to day 26 of the 30-day email breakdown challenge. I'm Leonard here, and I'm so excited to break down this email from Peng Joon today. And okay, so just a heads up of for you, Peng Joon is one of the marketers that I've admired since I first started in direct response marketing. So you can go check it out on his product on his website just by the link down below at the description box. I'll include that below. And I love how he, even though his copy is not really really what would I say, okay, so from this email, right, I'll say that his email is quite formulated. And but even though it's formulated, right, it hits the important uh psychology, important parts of copywriting, which is, for example, in this case, he anticipate objection, or break the objections, all this. And he even break the false belief and implant the new belief pretty obviously. So you can take a look later when we are go through when we are going through later. So without further ado, let's dive into today's email breakdown. Okay, so subject line, embarrassing. So this this embarrassing, right, immediately hits the reader because from what he's always okay, so if you have followed his content before, right, his content is always very, the way he do content is very the way he produces his content is very confident, in a way that he doesn't feel embarrassed at all. So when immediately, right, when he say embarrassed, is a disalignment in uh, with his brand and what he say right here. So this creates a curiosity in the reader. So this this he actually leverages a little bit of his brand voice and his brand image that the reader perceive him as. So yeah, by having this embarrassing, right, it is a disalignment between his brand and what he's saying over here. So this catches attention. And right into the email, the first sentence, he said, "I bomb hard." So this is a very short and catchy first sentence to grab the reader's attention and keep them reading. So yep, as okay, so right here, right, he can just simply say, "I bomb hard," and then continue with the next sentence. Like he can join both sentences together, but he chose to separate them separately, because he knows that if he put the first sentence too long, it will make the reader drop off quite early, or early part of the email, or even at the first sentence. Yep. So by separating them, right, it makes them keep reading. And then he go on to say, "I did everything right. I had the right energy, the right content, everything was right." So this is very positive, very extreme. Everything was right. But when it came to asking the audience to go back to the table to invest, nobody moved. So everything right, but nobody moved. So this is a very contrary concept right here. So and then zero, nada drink. Okay, so this is just a in putting some fun, interesting words into his email. Then zero people stood up to get my offer. The funny thing was, I had so many participants come up to me afterwards, telling me how great the content was. So he's mentioning the problem here. When it came to asking the audience to go back to invest, right, nobody moved. So he's mentioning the problem here, and just note how he solved it later on. Okay, so let's move on. So this few sentence right here, right, is a short story that only tells you. Okay, so this short story is compressed to a degree that it only tells you what is required for you to understand the moral of the story. So later on, right, he will say the moral of the story. And in order to really understand the moral of the story, right, the story must be clear. And in this case, right, his story has the main point that makes you clear about the moral. So that's what I like about this part. So he shortened the entire bottom line, right, is he shortened the entire story to a degree that it makes you still be able to understand what's the moral of the story right here. Okay, so What am I trying to tell you here, Leonard? So people think that when it comes to selling more online, you probably so he's transitioning to the sales argument right here. You'll probably have to spend a ton of money on courses, dig through a lot of information, wait for the universe to align. So there's only one thing I can say about this bullshit. So the secret is not some hush formula that marketers are hiding from you. It's as simple as creating value that will take your audience no into yes. But Peng Joon, I'm not interested in speaking. I just want to sell more. Don't get it twisted. This isn't about the ability to speak or throwing you on stage to speak in front of a crowd. So he's breaking false belief right here. So maybe you think that you have to spend a lot on courses, or you think that you have to dig through a lot of information. You think that you have to wait for the universe to align. So he's breaking the false belief right here by having the implement having implanting the new belief later on. Okay, so there's a huge difference between um, public speaking and actually closing and converting your audience into paying customer. So no matter if you are selling through Facebook Live or webinar or even a sales video, the only thing that all of this has in common is all it takes is one good presentation to turn browsers into buyers. So one presentation that will work in any business no matter okay, so he's okay, so this few sentence right here is all implanting new belief uh after breaking the false belief right here. So, and these two parts, right, is actually a pre-frame to support his offer. Where you can see over here, table rush secrets are the techniques I use for proven scripts to generate more sales in 90 minutes than what some CEOs make in entire year. I share the details here. So this script I'm gonna share. So he's after introducing the solution, he move on to talk about a little bit of the solution, and he's doing some future pacing right here and making them imagine what if this could make an extra 100,000 per year for you, and would it be worth it? Yeah, so it's making them imagine. And then so he move on to if and then statement right here. If you are ready, then click here. So this is the if and then statement right here. Then he's providing the link here, which is pretty upfront. Then sign off right there. Okay, so as you can see, right, he actually told the story, but after he have this sentence right here, transition to a sales argument, instead of just saying the moral of the story, he's addressing the false belief and then breaking them like by implanting the new ones right here. So that when he's introducing his offer, right, it makes sense. It solve the common objections right here. And then which is one of the things I like about this email. Yeah, so it's breaking false belief and implanting a new belief, just like anticipating the possible objection. So the way he addresses the false belief and implanting the new belief, yeah, is exactly how the common how marketers and copywriters use when they are addressing and break solving objections, possible objections. So maybe if he were just to tell the story and then tell the moral of the story, and then go on to have this solution right here, then he might left with his reader with a lot of objections. So by having these objections before he introduced the solution, it saved a lot of work for him to break those objections later. Yep. So that's why I like first about this email. And then the second thing I love about this email is this is an really good example of a direct email that uses story, because most direct email, right, they only they only tell facts, because they think that direct email are very upfront. Yeah, they should be upfront, but they think that it's very upfront to the degree that it doesn't require a story. But I don't think so. They still need a story. And uh, the one of the way that you can input a story, right, but not so long, is, yeah, here's one of the example that you can implant input a story without having it to be too long that it become very indirect. So and that causes a disconnect with your audience. So by having a direct email, it doesn't mean it doesn't give you the excuse to stop telling stories in your those direct email. You still can do it, yeah. So you just have to be careful of the length and the context you are giving them. It should be short and it should be fast, yep, for direct emails. And by the way, for direct email, right, what I mean direct is that uh is after a very long time of nurturing and your audience is very clear about your the solution, the product, and then it's time to sell. It's time to sell already. So and then you have to be pretty direct right there. So that's what I call a direct email. And then yep, so the framework he uses here, right, is by using the story to show his problem, which is nobody move when he asked the audience to go back to the table to invest in his program. So that's his problem by using the story. Then he break their false belief and quickly implant the gap there with his new belief. Then he provide the solution, then give some details and future pacing of the solution. So yep, that's it. And one area of improvement that I think he should make right here is avoiding uh too much hard selling, like avoiding hard selling by adding too much details after he has introduced the product. So he's after he introduced the product, right, uh then he do some future pacing here. So but okay, I'm not saying future facing is it is bad. It's actually very good, but you must see how it goes. If it is in the is if it is like very direct, okay, yeah, by having this future pacing is good because it sells them even more because they really know that you are gonna sell them something. But if this is used in a daily email, right, you can just go past this entire thing and then just mentioning the product, like just reminding them. Yep, that's what I always say in the previous breakdowns as well. Just reminding them of the product instead of hard selling them, right? So you actually so you have to see it all depends on the context actually. So if you are not within a launch sequence, right, then don't hard sell them. But if you are within the launch promotional sequence, then maybe you can hard sell them a little bit, yeah, but not always because if they are used if they are used to if you are used to sending them these hard selling emails, right, even when it's not within the launch or promotional sequence, then they will eventually burn out and unsubscribe from your email list. Yep. So I know the camera is down, but I'm so glad that you stay with me. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope you get the value as well. And I think you guys should revisit this email, especially if you are just starting out with stories in your email because how it does here is how he did tell his story here is pretty short in a way that is fast. It save a lot of time for you. So this could be a pretty good start for you if you're just starting out in by if you're just starting out telling stories in your emails. Yep. So that's all from today's email breakdown. Today is day 26. We have 4 more days to go. Yep. And I hope you like this email breakdown. If you have any questions, just leave them down at the comment section below. And if you like this breakdown, give me a thumbs up. And otherwise, just remember to subscribe to my channel so you get notified when the next video is uploaded. See you again. Later.